Corona Cigar Company is your one-stop shop for all your cigar needs. Whether that's a brand new humidor, a box of those new cigars you've been waiting for, a top-of-the-line cutter or lighter, a place to enjoy the finest cigars and spirits with friends, or the only cigars grown right here in the Sunshine State, we've got you covered. Come visit one of our retail locations for the ultimate cigar experience. Visit us online at coronacigar.com.
How about that cigar?
How about that cigar?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Corona Cigar Studios for episode 208.
208.
I know, crazy. 208 of How About That Cigar Live. I was trying to think of another number that's like some, big time thing that's like synonymous with 208. I got nothing.
I got 308, but nothing for 208.
Guys, thank you so much for watching live on Facebook and live on YouTube. If you would, please take just a second, share us out with your favorite Facebook cigar groups. Let everybody know we're live. And of course, share in the comments with us. Let us know what you're smoking. Let us know what you're drinking along with us. On the show this evening, we have a fantastic special guest coming up in just a moment. And here in the Corona Cigar Studios, the door is open. It is a beautiful evening, 74 degrees, 78 degrees, something like that.
Something like that, about 75% humidity, a little sticky, some flies flying around. But
yeah, we got
good. We're
flies. Good. Yeah, the farm down the road, we get a lot of flies here, but it's all good. Beautiful night. Finally, we got some rain cooking, so we're not, my grass is sort of looking like grass again.
Is it?
For the most part.
Must be nice.
It's greenish.
Yeah, you enjoy that green grass.
It's greenish, I'm not going to roll it or smoke it or anything like that, but it's green grass. So the Minnesota Twins are actually doing pretty well coming out of the All-Star break. I'm not going to jinx it.
Don't get your hopes up though.
What are you doing?
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying they're doing okay coming out of the All-Star break.
I know.
It's not like we've played any,
smoking teams.
We played the A's and then we played the White Sox, and we're in first place in the worst division in baseball. So, it's okay though. We're in first place by 3 games. But yeah, the thing that is I still am trying to wrap my head around is the fact that Baltimore is in first place in the AL East.
Yeah.
And the Yankees are second from the bottom. And sadly, the Red Sox are at the bottom. But it's such a shift.
But both of those teams deserve to be there for a little bit, I think.
For a little bit.
Just to
I don't know.
Just to bring some humility back to that fan base.
Maybe, I don't know, but the fact that there was such a shift. I mean, Baltimore was kind of the laughing stock of Major League Baseball for a few years.
Yeah.
And there they are in first place in the AL East. It doesn't make sense to me, but there they are. And
I would hope that for a team like the Detroit Lions, if they weren't in our division.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really would love to see the Detroit Lions at some point, have a dominant season, just because I think they're one of the OG teams that has not even been to the Super Bowl.
I think if they blow it this year, then it's their own fault, because they are poised to be the best team in the NFC North this year.
Agreed.
Speaking of NFL, and training camps are underway now.
Yeah.
There's a little incident with one of the Viking players.
What was that?
Our rookie wide receiver. We signed him. He got a fair contract. Good, healthy contract. And he went out and got pulled over the other night doing 140 and a 55.
Oh,
is that fast?
He said his dog was having a medical emergency.
Was the dog in the car with him?
Yeah.
And it was what kind of car was it again?
It was a Lamborghini Urus.
Oh,
Lamborghini. Yeah. And the dog was having a medical emergency.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Service dog?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Emotional support dog.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Got to get it politically correct.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
Well, service dogs are different. Service
Oh.
dogs and emotional support dogs are different.
Correct.
How about that cigar? You learn all kinds of things.
Well, yeah. I mean, how about that emotional support dog?
Yeah, there you go.
Hopefully for the Minnesota Vikings, I mean,
at least it wasn't a DUI.
It wasn't a DUI, and
it's still reckless endangerment.
So, but I got to be honest though, if and he's what, 22?
21.
Yeah. So if I was when I was 21, if I would have gotten my hands on a Lamborghini,
I'd be dead.
Oh my
I would. It wouldn't even. Yeah.
So I can relate so much because I was house sitting for a friend of the family, and in the garage they had Mazda for 1 year put out this souped up inline 6 Miata.
Okay.
That car was stupid.
How did they fit that engine in?
I don't even know, man.
That's messed up.
You couldn't fit in the car yourself once you got in, but
it's true. I did get into some trouble.
I mean, that car. What's the back when because they don't make those anymore, do they?
They make the Miata.
Do they still?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep. There's a whole
the base engine is like a 3-cylinder though, isn't it?
No, it's 4.
Oh, it's 4. Okay. But it's a little. I mean, it's
but there's a whole club of people, a huge
Miata club.
Same thing with the Celica.
There's a club for everything.
There is.
There's a club for the Celica. There's a club for flat earthers,
llamas,
snails.
Yeah. There's a big community of hermit crabs.
And don't forget about the autoerotic asphyxiation.
Yeah, those clubs are very, very exclusive though.
Oh, okay.
We'll have to ask Skip if he can get us a membership.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sure he'd say yes. He'll.
Well, and I think Enrique's got some connections to the Flat Earth Society too.
Oh yeah, yeah. We'll definitely
talk about that.
Ask him. So guys, it is time for our special event of the evening, our special guest. And as always on How About That Cigar Live, our special guests are brought to us by Drew Estate. And in the most recent Freestyle Live special edition, Drew Estate revealed the secret identity of the mystery cigar inside the latest Freestyle Live event pack. And that is the all-new Liga Privada H99 Connecticut Corojo Papas Fritas. Liga Privada H99 Connecticut Corojo Papas Fritas marries 2 of Drew Estate's most popular cigar concepts, their own exclusive hybrid H99 Connecticut Corojo wrapper leaf and the crowd-pleasing Papas Fritas Vitola. The all-new Liga Privada H99 Connecticut Corojo Papas Fritas are available now exclusively at participating Drew Diplomat Program partners. They are presented in 25-count boxes with an MSRP of $7.50 per cigar. For more information, please visit drewestate.com.
I feel like you shortened it up a little bit because I didn't
know
the wrapper.
Totally, word for word.
What is it again?
Word for word. The Liga Privada H99 Connecticut Corojo Papas Fritas. Longest cigar name ever. Not actually. There are some crazy long cigar names out there. So that one actually doesn't even compete.
But what you're saying is you can't wait till they release something else. So
I can't wait till they release something else so I can have a new read.
Right.
So I don't have to read that anymore.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Got it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you would please put your hands together and welcome along with us to episode 208 of How About That Cigar Live from Matilda Cigars, Enrique Seijas.
What is up?
Welcome back.
By the way,
show,
Matt,
brother.
you have great lungs. I mean, you can read that without taking a breath. Amazing.
I know.
Oh yeah. Honestly,
wow.
my lung capacity is so much better now that I smoke premium cigars.
That's
of course. It's always going to get better.
Yeah. Science checks out.
Always.
Yeah, I mean the
Always.
lung capacity is better when you smoke premium cigars and the earth is flat, right?
Yes.
And when there's no gravity, pulling it's just the buoyancy. I mean,
that's right.
I mean, your lungs are bound to, be better.
More better.
No pressure.
No gravity. So we don't have all that pressure, pushing
exactly,
down
that way.
the lungs.
Yeah.
But I like the pressure.
You like Justin likes the pressure.
I like the pressure.
Do you sleep with a weighted blanket?
I'm gonna send you the address of a club that will give you some pressure.
Yes.
There's so many directions we could go with that.
Yeah.
So many directions.
Is there on Does the door have one of those little slide open windows where somebody just peeks their eyes through?
Is there a secret knock?
Secret knock.
And you can't talk because there's a kind of a ball like
Yeah.
oh.
Oh, okay. That kind of club. Whoa. I've never been to one of those.
Yeah. Yeah, you've never been to one of
Enrique,
those.
you're into
before.
some freaky shit.
All right.
Tell us
This
more.
is going to be one of those kind of shows, ladies and gentlemen. Get your beverages and your cigars ready. And of course, because Enrique's on the show, this is the last pour from this beautiful bottle of Dominican rum that Garrett brought back for me.
Ooh.
So my last pour of this beautiful Dominican rum that I'm going to enjoy this
Salud.
evening on the show. Salud.
All right, Enrique, please let us know, what are you smoking and drinking this evening?
I am drinking a rum Punta Cana, which is what I found. I actually found in my cabinet today. I wasn't prepared until about 5 minutes ago when Matt said, let me go get a drink. I'm like, oh shit, I'll get a drink as well. Why not?
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful rum. It's got a lot of sweetness to it, nice complexity with it. And I'm smoking our first line, which is Matilde Renacer. Renacer is Bano wrapper, Dominican binder, and Dominican and Nicaraguan filler. Beautiful medium in strength, full in body. Beautiful sweetness to the cigar. It's aged just a little bit in the humidor, so it's got very, very smooth. Great cigar.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Garrett, what do you have fired up?
I am smoking the Matilda Oscura.
All right, get that on the front camera there.
Front camera switch.
There we go.
Ooh, look at that
Look at that
beautiful
beauty.
boy or girl. Is it a girl?
Beautiful San Andreas Maduro wrapper,
Yeah.
covered by a Sumatra and Ecuadorian binder
Mm.
with Pennsylvanian filler.
Oh, talk to
Dominican
yeah.
and Nicaraguan.
Show him mine real
Show him
quick.
Justin's.
I got one too.
Justin is smoking.
These are from a year ago
Quadrilla.
too. These have about a year
The
age.
Quadrata. That is
Yeah.
beautiful. A2000 seed Ecuador wrapper with a lower binder from Dominican Republic and Dominican and Nicaraguan filler.
Yes.
Well, and right now on in just a minute, I'm going to get this guy fired up here. And this,
Limited exposure. That's new. That's a Robusto.
yeah,
You just came out with that one.
yeah, you
Actually, it's
gave
not
me
even
this one
shipped yet.
at the
Gonna be
PCA
shipping in a
trade
couple
show.
of weeks. That is
Mhm.
correct.
Big
I am
things
very
coming.
happy how that blend came out with. So smooth, so
Bro.
creamy.
So you gave me a couple at the show, and I smoked one last week. It's unbelievable. It's a banger.
I mean, you would have smoked it at the show with a burnt palate, and it still would have a ton of flavor.
I'm
That's
sure.
how good it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not mine.
Trust me. I spent the whole show smoking those limited exposures. They're freaking amazing.
I
Very-
can't wait to.
Yeah,
smoke.
man.
I can't
But
wait.
I'm a little bit biased, you know.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, but no, you have to enjoy your own stuff.
Hey, if it's not.
Yeah, you do.
So
Alright. You
I am
do.
going to get this cigar fired up right now on the Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust Toast Cam.
When lighting your cigar, it is important to be patient and pay close attention to detail and focus on the tobacco.
Like the words on the page.
Yep.
Yes.
In the same
Read them.
way,
Read them clearly, please.
in the same way, Steve Saka brings those same qualities to the ultra premium cigars of Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust. Patience, close attention, and focus on the tobacco are the qualities that Saka and Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust have become known for. From Sober Mesa to Umbagog, Dunbarton has a blend that will fit your palate, your mood, and any occasion. Visit dunbartoncigars.com to learn more.
Yes, please.
There we go.
I had coffee. I'm a little shaky. I don't know if you could tell from like the toast or from the showing the labels.
What do you
but
mean you had coffee?
I had some coffee.
You just had coffee? You can't drink coffee?
Oh, I can. I drink coffee from.
Well, you can obviously because you had some. But
Yeah.
I mean, does it give you like a caffeine shakes or something? Like
Usually, I don't get the shakes, but I'm feeling extra buzzed right now.
Right on.
that?
Yeah. So I get
that's just excited because you're seeing me.
I had a dirty.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ooh,
that's
Yeah.
actually accurate.
Wow.
That's a different kind of shakes, though.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
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 It's more on the inner side. Well,
Whoa,
let's,
whoa,
let's-
whoa. Rewind it back. Let's not.
Kind of
go-
like an inner burn, not shake.
yeah, it's inner burn.
Yeah.
Inner burn.
There you go.
How do I
Yes.
say like the burning of the loins? Is that what you get like in those novels?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The with the what was the guy's name? The famous guy in the 80s and 90s who was the guy who modeled on it.
Fabio.
Fabio. Thank you.
Fabio.
He
The
modeled
long
on
hair.
all those
Yes.
romance novels. Yeah, with the hair
Yeah.
and the pecs. Yeah, that guy. Oh no, you're bringing. Oh, you're
I
bringing
think
up.
we should.
Yeah.
What?
I'll
Well,
work on that.
before we get into that, so
Yeah, I haven't done it yet.
so this is-
you go.
this is your second time on the Big Monday Night Show, and one of the things that I'm not entirely sure if I asked you the last time, I did go back and look at a little bit of the last time you were on the show, but I wasn't sure if we got to this question, and I'm curious. You know, because obviously you grew up kind of around the premium cigar business a lot, you know, and did you always want to follow in your father's footsteps? Did you always want to get into premium tobacco and cigars, or did you have maybe a period of time where you thought, no, I want to be a doctor or a lawyer or something like that? Did you always, was it always cigars for you?
I would say it was always my dad for me, not always cigars. I
Okay.
always wanted to work with my dad, and working with my dad meant working with cigars. And obviously, as I grew older, I liked more and more the manufacturing of tobaccos and of cigars. So yeah, I mean, I always want to work with my dad. I always want to work at the factory. It's like, you know, place that was like home. So yeah, I mean, I worked in lumber at some point. My uncle had a big lumber company in Dominican Republic when I was younger, but I always meant to go back and start working with my dad. I did manufacturing, I did distribution in the Dominican Republic, but most of my jobs as a kid had to do with cigars or the factory. As a kid or as a teenager or, you know, a young adult, which I still am, I'm not that young.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say like, you know, I grew up when I was 8, 9. I say I'm gonna be like, you know, I'm gonna be like my dad. Like I'm gonna be a cigar maker like my dad. But I always want to follow my dad's footsteps just because of the person that he is.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say yeah.
Okay. Now you've also, because you've spent so much time in this business and seen every level of it, from farming to pre-production to the factory floor, sorting, you know, all the things that go into making these premium hand rolled cigars, to bunching, to wrapping, aging, packaging, the whole bit, all the way through to the sales, to the retailers, to events and interacting with consumers. What is, out of all the parts that you've played a role in, what is your favorite aspect to personally spend time doing in the cigar business?
Spending time with my family at home.
Good answer.
You know what? The cigar industry, every single step of the cigar industry is fun at its own level. I mean, when it comes to the farms, I mean, it's very relaxing. It's very beautiful. I actually, when I started working like 100% with my dad, I think we talked about it. He had me going all over places, to Santiago for the tobacco fields. I went to Mexico to the tobacco fields, and that was the first time I actually like fully immersed and exposed to tobacco and the growing. And it's beautiful. I mean, it's peaceful. I think it's like everything with cigars and tobacco. It's peaceful. It takes time. It's a place where you can actually lose yourself and relax, right? But there's two things I really like about the industry. It's going out and doing events, not large events. I'm not a fan of large events. I like more of smaller events, 15, 20 people. We can actually be a little bit more intimate, get to know people, talk a little bit about the company, about the cigars. Not only that, just, you know, getting to know the cigar smokers and how they got into cigar smokings, and then, you know, trying to sell a stick or two, you know, because that's what we do, right? And the manufacturing side is also pretty cool, just because it's one of the few industries that it's still an art form. Like every single cigar is a piece of art. It's a work of art. It's handmade, hand rolled. None of them are the same. So no blend is the same, no cigar is the same. They might be similar, but there's always going to be a differentiation. And but at the same time, it's an industry. It's industrialized. It's a process. So you can measure this art, which I find fascinating, because you can break down, you know, go back into trying to fix stuff. There's so much things that you can measure and work with and play with. Not necessarily to make a better blend, just to make better cigars, make it more efficient when it comes to production and stuff like that. And that's something that my dad loved to do when he was at the Tabacalera, and it's something that I like very much, which I don't get to do as much because, as we talked about right now, I manufacture my cigars at Tabacalera Palma and in Tabacalera La Isla, so I don't get to break down and start changing stuff at my own will. But it was a very, very fun part, or it's a very, very fun part of the industry, of the process. But everything has its fun part. One of the things that you did not mention, and it has to do with sales and sales of the cigars, is actually receiving people in the Dominican Republic. And I think that would be one of my favorite parts, because the Dominican Republic not only has cigars. We don't only make the best cigars in the world. We have one of the best beaches in the world. We're a third world country, but I say 2.5 because we have beautiful infrastructure. And it's such a great way to have people come down, get immersed in the factory, in the cigars, in the manufacturing, in the fields. But there's so much that you can learn in those 2 days when it comes to cigars, right? So what I usually like to do is that you spend a day or two when it comes to cigars, and then once I said, you spend your day getting to know the countries, going to the mountains, going to the beach, always talking about cigars, always talking about the process, always talking about the brand, but in a different level, a more relaxed level. Because at the end of the game, cigars are meant to make you relax. They're meant to it's for enjoyment, right? And I think that coming to the Dominican Republic gives you appreciation of a lot of things. It gives you appreciation of what goes into making a cigar when you go into the factory. There's, as you guys know, there's about 300 hands that go through the process from seed to farm to manufacturing to selling. But you also see the amount of people that our industry helps as workers, and then you get to see our country. So you fall in love not only with our cigars, not only with Matilde, but with the country where they're made, because the Dominican Republic has so much to offer. And that is a thing that I love to do. I love getting people and showing them factories, tobacco, the process, and the country. And one thing that I've always received when I get somebody or a group that have never seen a factory before, the first one is cigars should be a lot more expensive because you actually know what goes through it, right? The process, you see it. I mean, I can tell you, I can explain the whole process. You'll say, okay, yeah, I get it. No, you don't. You have to be there to actually get it, right? And you get a bigger appreciation of the country. And then you have people that have never smoked cigars before, because groups always come with one or two that are not cigar smokers. And that's the best reaction that I've always gotten and loved, is that, oh, wait, they're unique. It's actually an art form. It's not mass market. It's not machine. So they automatically, if you see a cigar factory and the process that we go through it, you separate them. Premium is premium, period. That's it.
Yeah. Well, and that's one of the things I had written for some questions is, and I think you answered it, but kind of expand on it a little more. It's not just for consumers, the people who buy and enjoy these great cigars, but also for retailers. How important do you think it is for retailers and also consumers to take that trip, to take the time to go to Dominican Republic and see this process with their own eyes?
I think it's extremely important. You get a whole different appreciation of our industry. I mean, a whole different appreciation of our industry. Maybe Dominican Republic, maybe Nicaragua, maybe Mexico, anywhere. You visit a factory, you get a whole different appreciation of the difficulties of how complicated it is to actually make a cigar. Not only that, is keeping the blend consistent year after year. I talked a little bit, a lot about in the show with different people that we were compared a lot to wine because of the process of the tobacco goes beforehand, but we don't have years. I mean, Renacer has to taste the same viejo for 10 years. when you talk about a wine, you have year 2019 was a great crop, so on and so forth. So you have those years, and the wine's defined by a great year or a bad year. Cigars are not defined like that, and that takes a lot of work, and there's a lot that goes into it. And if people go down and actually see it for themselves, shit, they just go down and try to roll a freaking cigar. It's as simple as that. When I was Tabacalera, I became a buncher for about a buncher slash roller for I think it was about 8 weeks. That was the toughest job I've ever had in my life. I mean, it's hard to make a cigar which is perfect. The load is perfectly placed and put the wrapper on it. It's hard. It looks easy, and because these people have been doing it for years, and that's what makes it look easy. But it's very hard and it's very specialized. So people that come down, they'll have a whole different life. It's like good idea, a good comparison, right? People only smoke and they don't retro.
Yeah.
What? Can you repeat?
Yes, it have. So people that don't retro, there's a whole different world of aromas, of flavors that go when you retro, right? So I think the appreciation that you get when you're smoking cigars and you go to the factory, your eyes open as when you only smoke on the mouth or the mouthfeel, and then when you start doing retro. So it just opens a whole different dimension because you have a whole different appreciation of our industry and what goes in it. And as you know, the more you know about something, the more you get into it, the more you appreciate it. So I think it's extremely important. And a good time to go is February, which is Pro Cigar. It's a Pro Cigar festival. It's a week festival where you come down, you get to tour all the factories, get to tour the fields. You get you get a little bit of everything, right? I know they're not sponsoring it, but I just have to put it out there.
No, and it's honestly from so many people we know in the business, whether they're brand owners or media who have been to the Pro Cigar Festival, say it is an absolutely fantastic, educational, just kind of mind-blowing trip where you get utterly immersed in the world of premium cigars for about a week.
It is beautiful. You learn a lot, you smoke a lot, you drink a lot, and you get back home, you need another week's vacation.
Yeah.
Because it's fun, it's educational, and a lot of fun. You get a little bit of everything. So you get the culture, and you also get the cigar culture and the Dominican culture.
Yeah.
So it's a great event.
And during Pro Cigar, what do you have any part in it officially or unofficially, or what do you do during that time?
I just hang out with the friends. I go to events. So Pro Cigar was founded, and my dad's a founding member of Pro Cigar. So my father, as a founding member, is a member. We're members of Pro Cigar forever, right? But Matilde as a brand is not. So I participate because, for example, Tabacalera Palma is part of Pro Cigar. So when they're doing the tours, I'll be there. I'll meet either distributor or retailers that I know. I help out. But for me, it's more about getting to see you guys, getting to see the people that go. They're getting to meet more people and enjoying. But the day-to-day, usually I'm at the office working, and then I go and I go out and do stuff. If I have people that come down and want to see something else, they come down with me. I'll take them to Tabacalera La Isla because they're not the same thing. They're not members of Pro Cigar. So there's different things that can be done. But for me, it's not Matilde not being part of Pro Cigar. I'm just there for the ride, the enjoyment, and getting to see people and all that.
Nice.
Yeah.
I have a quick question too, because you said Tabacalera La Isla, and that's with Ostos, right? That's down there, and that's one of my favorite factories overall. Like, how did that relationship start and come into play with Ostos and down there? Has that been a family thing overall, or was that something that came over time, or how did that come into the factory?
Me and Ostos?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So me and Ostos, as he grew into the industry, I grew into the industry. We became better friends in college. We actually went to the States together for a couple of summers. And then we became even closer friends when he was working in Quesada. When we also was working in Quesada at a point, SAG, which is Quesada's distribution company, used to distribute Matilde. So I had a very close connection and a very close work relationship with TJ and Osos at the time. And good relationship. He's got a great palate. He comes from a large factory running a small factory, which is awesome because he can put all those quality controls, which he has done, into the small factory, which is more controllable. So he gets a lot of consistency into the cigars and the blends, right? And I knew the moment that he said something, set the factory up, I was going to do something with him. I just didn't know what it was going to be. And then the limited exposure project came along, and it was a perfect project, simply because we do batch productions, right? As batch productions, we can have that production year after year. It's the same blend, just the production is made year after year. And because they're smaller productions, it's not consistent. I thought it would be the great project to start working with Tabacalera La Isla. It's not that I'm not going to ever do anything else but the limited exposure, but that's what we're doing. Actually, with Osos, I've done a couple of private labels for other distributors, and we will be releasing an event cigar, which is only going to be for events, and it also is actually manufacturing for us.
Nice. Well, I want to have Justin bring up the big screen here and just show the construction and the, I mean, it's, and this cigar, I have to say, this limited exposure that I'm smoking, that you were so kind to give us a couple of these when we were at the PCA show a couple weeks ago, and I'm getting something from this cigar that, and this really is, there's something in here that's a flavor that's a little different than what your other blends have. And I'm almost getting this sort of, it's almost like a bright sort of floral aroma to it, that really adds to the sweetness and the spice that's also there. And I don't know if that's just me, you know, for tonight, what I'm getting from it, but there is this sort of, yeah, floral's the only word I can come up with right now. That's just really kind of outside of the box, and it's really a nice addition to, like I said, that aged tobacco sweetness and the little bit of spice that's there as well. I really like it.
Yeah, I think that's a unicorn dust combined with the whale shrimp that we used on the glue.
Yep.
Gives you that nice aroma. But yeah, that's one of the cool things of working with different factories, and it's exactly that. It's that you can differentiate exactly what comes out of Tabacalera La Isla and what comes out of Tabacalera La Palma. They're very different factories. We do different types of projects, so different. And you described it perfectly fine. So the limited exposure number 1 is supposed to have that earth. It has a nice floral. It's got a lot of sweetness. It's extremely smooth when it comes to that. There's no like high notes when it comes to like to pepper or anything like that. It's just nice and smooth.
Yeah.
And exactly what you said is what we're looking for. We're looking to differentiate limited exposure from the cores, because it is supposed to be a limited exposure project. They're not better. They're not worse. They're just different. I mean, I love them all, right? But they're just different. It's just different types of factories.
Yeah.
Now, are you sourcing your unicorn dust from organic cage-free unicorns?
Mm-mm.
No, they're like abused.
They're not cage-free.
Worth a shot, Garrett. I mean, I gotta give you that.
The cage-free unicorns are too expensive. I'm not there yet. I mean, I can't do organic cage-free.
I need to talk to Sam.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, our tobacco, yes, our tobacco is cage-free. You know, it's nice growing outside, but the unicorn dust is just too expensive. I mean, it's just,
I get it.
Yeah, you get a lot more cost effectiveness if you buy the unicorn dust from the factory farmed unicorns.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
it's just cheaper that way.
Yeah.
Now the whale sperm, I mean, do you harvest that yourself, or do you have a company that, you know, ships that in?
I have a pet orca. So I go, you know, I told you I was at the beach.
Yeah.
It works. Just, you know.
Oh.
Oh shit. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh my God, that's one of the. I'm gonna cut out that
You're gonna have to
clip
clip
and
that one.
put that on YouTube separately.
good.
That's fantastic.
That would be a good meme.
And we should get somebody to animate that.
Yeah.
I'm riding this fucking orca in the with the yeah.
I love that.
Anyhow,
No, but really, we strive to do different stuff, different things at different factories. I mean, every project that we put out there, it's meant to be enjoyed by every smoker, but for different palates. And it takes a lot of time for us to develop projects, and because we get behind everything that we do,
Yeah.
we believe in it. We take a lot of pride in manufacturing, blending, and selling the product. And that's why I say I'm a little bit biased when it comes to my product. I mean, price, quality, you're never going to get a better cigar than Matilda, but once again, I'm biased. But I can assure you something. I mean, none of my cigars suck. I mean, you're never going to get a bad experience with any of our cigars when it comes to manufacturing or blends.
Yeah.
None of them are going to be overpowering because we don't like a lot of power. We like a lot of flavor. So any of the cigars that you smoke, there's going to be a ton of flavor compared to strength. And it's just going to be nice, enjoyable cigars where you're meant to relax. That's what I believe a cigar should be. Cigar should be a tool that's going to help you sit down with a nice glass of rum, good cigar, good conversation, or even alone to introspection, right?
Yeah.
And just relax. And that's what we try to do or promote with Matilde. Just make it easy and relax.
Now, Enrique, how has your process changed from when you first came out with cigars to now? As far as your blending style, your palate, has that changed much? Has your process changed about how you go about all of this? Where are you at now versus when you first released?
Oh, it's changed a lot. When it comes to blending styles, it has changed because I do believe in letting myself be guided by people that know. I take advice, right? So when I started working with Hochi, there's a lot of things that changed that we weren't doing when we had our own factory, and there's a lot of things that we stopped doing, just because Hochi opened our eyes and told me that we can do it, but actually you're not going to. It's not going to change a lot, right? When it came to actually tweaking with blends and stuff like that, that's something that I do a little bit more liberally to try to get to the right flavor profile of the cigars. Working with different types of tobacco. When we started with the factory, it was a small factory, so we're sourcing everything as we went. Right now with Hochi, you have a lot more to work with, so you can actually play around. And not even have the price, just play around and trying different blends, just keep on going until you find something that you like, and then you create the brand, or you create the brand and you find something that you like. So you can go both ways. Before we started with what we're looking for, the concept, and we can move on, right? And nowadays we do it two different ways. Like there's a cigar that will be coming out in the next couple of months, which is a cigar that the brand is created. It has been created for a while, and I know what I'm looking for with that cigar, right? And for that blend. And then there's other cigars like the limited ay coño, se me fue el inglés. The advanced cigar that we were talking about, it was just cigars that we were playing around with and just trying different stuff. We came around with Peru. I like the Peruvian tobacco because it reminds me of my dad used to work with a lot of Peru, and we integrated that into the blending, right? But it's ever changing. I think if you ever stay where you were when it comes to blending, manufacturing, anything, you're going to be stuck. I think you have to keep on evolving and taking advice from master blenders to the freaking rollers, for anybody. I mean, everybody's going to give you advice. So you can twitch a little bit. When it comes to my palate, I've always been a medium strength, full of flavor type of person. That hasn't changed a lot. I do appreciate a stronger cigar, but it's not something I would smoke all the time. So when it comes to palate wise, maybe I go a little bit further away when it comes to the blending, the complexity, and the peaks. I wasn't a fan of pepper. Now I like pepper a lot. So your palate evolves
Yep.
as you keep on going. But palate wise, I'm basically around where I was not 10 years ago, but a couple of years back. Just medium in strength, medium plus in strength, just a lot of flavor.
And a follow-up question: do you, I know that you love cigars, and you're not only smoking your stuff, but do you ever smoke a cigar that's not yours and it inspires you, and it gets your creative wheels turning?
Oh yeah, I mean, you smoke something. Oh, I wonder what I can do that's similar to this. I like this. I like that.
Yeah.
Then you go back and see what's in that cigar, and you say, "Oh, I've never tried this before. Let's give that a shot."
Yeah.
Or I never tried. Like a good example is we never worked with Corojo up until I started working with Ostos.
Mm-hmm.
Corojo, and it has just beautiful floral aromas. There's nice sweetness to it. It's nice little pepper at the beginning. Behind it, something we never worked with just because we didn't have that Corojo at the moment, that we weren't working with it at the time. It wasn't something that was in Coso. Smoked a cigar like this. Let's try this. I like that floral aroma, and that's where the limited exposure number 2 comes in. It has a Corojo filler and also has a Corojo wrapper.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, and it's the cigar. It's interesting because one of the things that we like a lot about cigars is, especially ones like these that are well made by rollers who know how to, arrange the leaves and, tear the leaves and all the beautiful things that go into it, is, arranging the blend so that it sort of, it takes you on a journey. It doesn't necessarily taste exactly the same or smell exactly the same throughout. And now the more the cigar warms up and it's getting to about the halfway point, the floral notes are still there, but there's just so much of this sort of smooth sweetness, like brown sugary kind of sweetness behind it. And then, but like you said, Enrique, that retrohale, that gives that little bit of spice, little bit of kick. But on the palate, it's smooth and creamy and sweet.
I actually got milk duds from that cigar.
Ah,
when I smoked it.
That's
right on.
you know what? That's a good way to explain that sweetness. It's that sweetness that covers the palate, straight all the tongue, and just keeps it there for a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like that caramel milk duds. Look at that shit.
I didn't want to say that too prematurely. I really wanted you to get into that cigar, but I remember smoking and go, this.
Yeah, it's all that sweet, that's creamy sweetness now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It really does.
It's interesting.
Covers the whole, no, it covers the whole palate.
Yeah.
It's just, I love, and with this rum, it's just right on the money.
Yep. Yeah, man.
There's so many ways to describe what you're experiencing with a cigar. And the funny thing is that every single person is different, right?
Yeah.
It depends on what you eat, depending on what you're exposed to when you were a kid. Because at the end of the game, they're triggers. It's not like you're tasting leather or anything like that. It's just triggers that it's like, oh, it reminds me of this. Oh, it reminds me of that. I remember we talked about in the last show that I got leather, but leather for me is actually the saddle of the horse,
right?
And that smell of saddle of the horse. That's what I get leather from. But I get it usually from Maduros and the broadleaves, right?
Yeah.
But maybe somebody that's never ridden a horse is like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Exactly.
Yeah, or like me, it's the leather belt that used to beat the shit. No.
Oh wow.
It's the leather strap that holds the ball gag in place.
Yes. The ball. That's what
it is. So you're talking about that leather, like with that taste of iron, right?
That's the one.
That's the one.
That's the one. That'll be another 3 weeks in therapy.
Yeah.
Actually, the flat earthers.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I know that the first release for you guys, almost 10 years ago was the Renaissance. Is that correct?
That is very correct.
And that means rebirth. And so Matilde was a brand very long time ago. I believe 1876. How much
correct.
do you know about? Because I always love seeing some of these old brands resurrected. How much do you know about the brand from back when it was in its original days? You know, do you have any old artwork or boxes or anything like that from back when the brand was alive back in the 1870s?
We do. We don't have boxes. We have artworks. We have the original logo, the seal of warranty. Actually, our logo comes from the seal of warranty, not from the logo. We do. I have had the logo recreated and modernized. Not modernized. It was redrawn.
Okay.
And the owner of Matilde in 1876, his name was Simeon Mencia, and the logo was this beautiful factory, which is still the building is still in la calle de las Rosas in Santiago, and it said La Matilde de Simeon Mencia, and I had the original logo redrawn. It says La Matilde de Jose Seijas, and it's something that that I have there, and in portfolio just to use at some point. And as I was saying, our logo comes from the seal of warranty, which is an S. If you look at our logo, it has an S, tobacco, and then it has a woman in the middle, which is Matilde. At that point, it was an S and an M. So Simeon Mencia, Simeon Matilde, right? So you get the S, it's made of tobacco. So it represents Simeon, it represents our last name, Seijas, and tobacco is what we deal with. So it's our business, our trade.
Yeah.
And then it's having the M for Matilde. We decided to put Matilde in the middle, which is protected by the tobacco leaves. If you notice, all our lines are female.
Right.
Or because they're descriptors of Matilde. So Renacer can't be because it's actually the rebirth, right? But Serena, everything that ends with an A is female, right? Serena, Quadrata, Oscura. They're all females.
Oh.
And that's the reason why.
I love it.
Well, and I know, and I'm sorry if this is a silly question, but I know that Matilde is, it's a woman's name, and it's also there was a famous song, with that title. But was there a famous folk character or something with that name? Is that where the name originally came from?
Oh, it was a family member.
Family member.
I think it was
okay.
the aunt. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Actually, we have when we came along with Matilde is that we couldn't use our last name because there's the trademark Seijas is out there, because there's a Seijas signature, Emilio Dominicana by Jose Seijas. So not being able to use our last name, we wanted to revive something Dominican to pay homage to the country where we live, we were born, we make our cigars. And we had a historian actually looking at different brands, old brands that were no longer existent. And that was the goal. We wouldn't want a brand that was constant. We wanted a brand that was no longer existent to revive it as a way to pay homage to the Dominican Republic. So I have a full 30-page book with newspaper clippings, contracts of when Matilde was sold, dissolution of Matilde, the logos, the what do you call it, the commercials, everything. If you look at the limited exposure, Matt, around that design that surrounds it is an element that comes from the original Matilde logo. So what I do is that I take different parts of the old Matilde, all the Matilde logo, and I integrate it to the new Matilde. And at some point, there will be a cigar that will have the old Matilde logo as a way to honor the actual, Matilde from that time. That's
Very
something
cool.
that's in the books.
Well, I'm going to put it up to the camera here. My old eyes are not doing a great job at seeing the. There we go. And yeah,
so the two gold rims.
Okay, so top and bottom there. Yeah, it's and the gold, the stamped gold foil and everything. This is a cigar also just from and honestly, all the cigars in your lines, the design, when you're, because we all know we go to cigar shops and there's thousands of different cigars on the shelves, but these just jump off the shelf.
Yeah, they do
at you.
In fact, I talked to Angelo Fabroni from Founder Cigars right before we went live, and he said, "Hey, who are you having on the show tonight?" And I said, "Enrique Seijas." He was like, "Oh, Matilde." He goes, "Great cigars, great branding."
Appreciate that.
And dude, I mean, the branding is gorgeous. Obviously, it has a lot of history and thought that goes into it. I appreciate it. And
Oh, yeah.
Matt said it does pop on the shelves. It's beautiful. So,
well, and the history too is something that we really enjoy learning about. From any brands that were resurrected, or even brands that are still dormant to this day. There's something about, because there are so many. I mean, people forget that there were cigar brands. There were hundreds of thousands of cigar brands. There were factories all over the United States, factories all over Dominican Republic and Cuba and Nicaragua, and so many of this history is slowly disappearing, and it's so wonderful to see families like yours and others that are that respect the history that really built the industry that we love so much.
I think so. I think it's important to pay homage to where you're from and respect. I mean, I was born and raised to show respect to elders, minors, or whoever. Just treat people as you want to be treated, and to pay homage. I mean, you pay homage to where you're from, to the people. You have to be appreciative of what you have and where you're from. So I think that's something that we do. I think everybody did that a little bit more. Thinking world be a better place. Hear me talking as a hippie or as a flat worlder, I guess.
We as Americans, we really miss the mark on that part of
the history.
Not only the history, but paying homage and tradition. And don't get me wrong, things need to change and evolve, and that's great. But how we treat our seniors, how we look at history and treat history here, it's just really sad. And that's one of the things I love about the cigar industry,
especially history that's not our own.
Oh my gosh.
That's one of the things with cigars is that's because that's not my history. Right. I don't have a family history in the cigar business.
Yep.
But it's always been fascinating to me. Every chance I get to learn something about whether it's an old brand or a family that's been in the tobacco business for multiple generations. I just love learning from those people because there's meaning behind those stories.
Absolutely.
And at the end of the day, we're talking about leaves rolled up into a tube that we light on fire, but there's something deeper to it.
Yep.
And it's almost something that we can't, I don't want to get too off the charts here, but it's almost something that we can't put into words. For me at least, because like you said, Enrique, whether you're with friends and family and enjoying great conversation and cigars and beverages, or if you're by yourself, just reflecting on your life and having an introspective moment, there's something that cigar brings to that moment that the moment wouldn't be as deep and meaningful without it.
Yeah. I was sitting in a cigar shop with Enrique and Adrian Acosta, and they were talking about, the rich history of the Dominican and their families that have been part of tobacco for, generations. And I'm sitting there like, I'm a 5th generation alcoholic. What? Two very different things. And that's one of the things that I love about really, talking like to people like Enrique and going down to the Dominican and seeing that rich culture.
Yeah.
It is wonderful to observe and see. It's awesome. You got to go.
Yeah.
One person that I don't know him very well, but I've had to talk to him a couple of times. I'm sure you've talked to him a lot more. That does that very well, and I love his brand and his branding for it. Is Dig Mililo from Foundations. Every single cigar that he has is a homage to something in history, which I got to talk to him at. I forgot what event it was. There you go. I forgot what event it was.
I literally just
he went on talking about pyramids of those cigars, and I was like, oh my shit and Lord. I mean, wow. And he's not in a bad way, but in an impressed way. And I follow Foundation as a brand, and I love it because everything he comes out, there's a history behind it, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. No, I love that.
I love
and
it.
here's and here is me, Enrique Seijas from Matilda Cigars. That how about that cigar talking about somebody else's cigar because of that. So
Yeah.
it works both ways. It
Yeah.
helps promote the brand, but at the same time, it gives you a little bit of culture, and it honors something else. That the same thing as he's doing like from Nicaragua, I'm doing for the Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
Well, now we're going to look forward a little bit. We're gonna try to see into the future.
Talking about some new.
So I know that there's some milestones that will be celebrated in the year 2024. If I'm not mistaken, you're going to be turning 40 years old in 2024. And also, if I'm not mistaken, the brand as we know it today, Matilde Cigars, will be turning 10 years old.
That is correct.
So can we expect a celebratory item to...
We will be celebrating.
Okay.
We will be celebrating. We'll
Okay.
be celebrating a lot of things. 2024 is a year to celebrate a lot. We're going to celebrate family. We're going to celebrate Matilde. We're going to celebrate myself. Are we talking about it? There's going to be a lot of stuff coming out with Matilde when it comes to the branding structure as well. So it's going to be an interesting 2024 and 2025. It's already on the works. But yeah, you should expect different things. Our core is going to keep as they are. So our core Matilde, there's nothing that's going to change there. I think as we were talking about it, it's a beautiful brand. It's represented as it's supposed to be represented. I believe it's palette wise and branding wise. There's not much to change when it comes to our core. There's going to be kind of little stuff, but nothing that's going to change the core of it. Pero we will be celebrating. I can tell you that we're going to be celebrating a lot of things coming next year.
You're
So
a
PCA is going
very
to be
good,
fun.
very good politician. Can you feed the baby birds a little bit more? Can you give us? Can you tease
Some
us a
scraps
little?
off the table. We just want some scraps.
Just something, man.
These guys are digging hard. They're digging hard, Enrique.
So I mean, you have to celebrate 10 years from Matilde, right?
Yes.
So that's going to be 10 years from Matilda. That's coming out. That's something you have to celebrate. And 40 years is a milestone.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to celebrate that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's something very special dear to my heart that we will be celebrating in 2024. And we will start talking about it in a month or two. But it's a project that it's part of Matilde, but it's not Matilde. And it's something that we're working in for a long time, and it's just dear to the heart. Dear to the heart. It's going to be a fun project. It's been a fun project. It's one of those projects that the branding was already there, and the cigars in the making. So that's going to be something to look forward to in 2024. When it comes to Matilde, we will have a couple of new things coming out, and that will include a anniversary or a decade cigar. That I can tell you for sure.
Awesome.
And you know what? By the way, you said I'm a great politician, but I come from a family of politicians. My grandfather was a politician. My grandfather was I think he was the mayor of La Romana, like for 3 or 4 terms.
Oh,
and
wow.
my uncle was a senator for a long time too, and a governor.
Yeah.
So I'm not a politician. I make cigars. My dad, skipped that also, and he makes cigars, but I guess I get a little bit on the blood.
Well, and for
Tony,
the question was where can we find Matilde Cigars? So I put the link in the comments for both Facebook viewers and YouTube viewers, where you can go right to the Matilde Cigars website and find the retailer nearest you.
and if there's not a retailer next to you, talk to your local shops.
And
That's
Tony's
right.
got the
especially-
connections. Get them in there.
Yeah. If you know a boutique shop that takes on boutique brands, please talk to the retailer. That is a much stronger message when a consumer comes and says, hey, I really want to try the cigar, or I've tried the cigar, I love it, I would love for you to carry it, that means that they have at least one customer.
Yeah.
Please do it.
That's always a great push for our brands. And also, if you have any questions, just email customer service at matillicigars.com. We are pretty good at answering, and or for consumers that reach out, we're very open and very communicative when it comes to that. Good retail, good feedback, bad feedback. I'm actually a huge fan of bad feedback, because you really can't get any better if you don't get that bad feedback.
That's right.
And I mean, cigar is great, but if you have a cigar that's burning bad, like I literally just received feedback 2 days ago. We were having some issues with in Canada with our plain packaging bans. I guess the factory was putting a little bit too much glue, and the plain packaging ban was breaking the wrapper off. I had no idea what was happening. Right away, I got that feedback. It was relayed to me, and right away, it's a simple fix. But if you don't know what's happening, you can't really figure it out. So customer service at Matilda Cigars, anything, any feedback, any questions, you can send an email there. Instagram, Matilda Cigars. Facebook, Matilda Cigars. We're very good at answering and relaying feedback to where it's supposed to be. I'm on it a lot of the time, if not somebody else is on it. But yeah, I mean, text us. We love to talk. We love to, give information out. Anything you guys need.
Love it. So, Garrett, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Is it time?
Oh.
Yeah. Are you sure?
Yes.
I don't think he's sure. I don't think he's. I don't think he's here today. He's got too much coffee in the brain.
So, Garrett.
Garrett,
is it time?
Garrett. It is time.
All right, guys. It is now time for this week's Numero de los Muertos.
How long are you going to talk?
As always, I gotta stop a second. Justin actually hit the "How long are you gonna talk" button on the, and that was like perfect.
It was.
That was great.
Almost spit my water out.
Numero de los Muertos, brought to us by our friends at Smoke Inn.
Smoke Inn? What's that?
It's our sponsor.
Oh, Cigar of the Month Club? Like
Cigar of the Month Club,
wow.
Exactly.
I'm Steve here with the GOAT to tell you about Smoke Inn's Cigar of the Month Club. Every month, I personally handpick 5 premium cigars. Another great feature is our Double Down Club. With a simple check mark, you can get double this great selections every month and save $10. Every month, there's a special discount code where if you like any of the selections, you can get them at a special discounted rate for our Cigar of the Month Club members. We've made it super simple. All you gotta do is log into your account. There's a little green button there. If it's green, you're active. You want to take a break, going out of town, simply hit the button and you'll deactivate your membership. We get the stuff out on the 28th of every month. Our membership bills on the 28th, and we get every member's package out on the 28th if it's a shipping day. All delivered to your door for $34.95. 5 great reasons on what makes Smoking Cigar of the Month Club the best club out there. Check it out. Peace.
All right. Numero de los Muertos, episode 208.
Hit us with it, Garrett.
What do you have for us?
All right. On average, in the United States, 480 people die each year. Here, it sends about 350,000 people to the ER.
It's a place?
So we're looking for a place in the United States.
Okay.
So every year, on average, 480 people die from this.
And how many to the ER?
350,000.
Holy.
So we're looking for a cause and a place.
Yeah.
All right. As always, viewers, if you have guesses,
the hospital.
Good
night, everybody. David Floyd.
Drop.
Drop the mic.
That's yeah.
It is not texting while driving. I have yet to do that one.
408 people, 35,000 and also
350,000.
All right. Are animals involved?
Animals are not involved.
Is drinking involved?
Not
necessarily.
Could be, yeah. I mean, people do dumb things while drinking, and that could be a factor. I just don't have the statistics.
Are vehicles involved?
Vehicles are not involved.
Is it a
eating
workplace accident?
For some, it is.
Ooh.
Is eating involved?
It is adjacent,
Ooh.
Is it McDonald's?
not food poisoning,
Not eating McDonald's.
not fast food, not farm accidents,
The beach.
not the beach.
Choking on food?
Nope. Yes.
Well,
Does it have a small opening window?
oh,
Not 3 times?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Now we're going somewhere.
no,
secret knock.
Ah,
no.
come on. I want the secret
No.
knock.
it's not. It's not underground clubs.
Is it on land?
Yes.
It's food.
What part of-
adjacent.
In what part of the States is it?
So it's not a specific geographical location.
Oh,
Oh, so it's like a place of some sort.
Right.
Okay. With a building.
Yes.
Okay.
is it a particular brand of restaurant?
No,
Are restaurants involved?
they are sometimes.
Sometimes.
Are skyscrapers involved?
Not
No.
necessarily. No.
Does it have anything to do with shopping malls?
No.
Run over by food truck?
Not.
Ooh,
run
that's
over
a
by
good
food
guess.
trucks. I love it.
Food trucks.
That'd be
That's
a way to
good.
go. Go get your food and get ran over. afterwards. Jeez.
Hey, if the food's good,
Hey,
it's a good way to go.
I guess so.
350,000 people is a lot of hospital.
Yeah.
And
it's a
something
lot.
has to happen very commonly.
Hmm.
What? So you said no to food poisoning, right?
Correct.
The showering.
Nope. I like it though.
Okay, run over by ice cream trucks.
Not run over.
Oh, okay. Eating while driving.
Eating while
Ooh,
driving.
that's good. No.
Okay.
Ooh.
Is it related
close.
to the drive-through window?
No.
Has anything been closed?
No, not really.
Ooh.
Can you give us another
Give us another teaser.
another
Okay,
morsel?
so we know that.
Another sprinkling of unicorn dust.
So we know that
Yes.
restaurants can be involved,
Okay.
but it can also be involved other places.
That's not much of a hint.
And we know it's food adjacent.
Okay.
Eating the Minnesota.
Movie theaters.
What about eating the food from the Minnesota State Fair?
No.
No.
Are sports involved?
No.
What do you got, Enrique?
What-
Is live entertainment involved?
No.
Hmm.
No? Well, nothing's fucking involved. Are people involved?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Involved.
Well, I'm like, what the hell is?
Yeah.
Uh,
At least 351,000 people are
Is
involved.
this an accident?
Yes, it is an accident.
is it an activity?
You could consider it an activity.
What about microwave oven accidents?
No, not microwave accident.
Since we're talking about wells,
Drowning in whale sperm while trying to mix with unicorn dust.
That's a good one.
Well, that is. I mean,
Never, it goes with the show. Yeah.
Yep.
You never mix them together. I mean, unicorn dust goes on the front, the whale sperm goes to,
on the back.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
So what does a restaurant and a home have in common?
a kitchen.
kitchen. Kitchen explosion. Gas leak.
Not quite.
Knives.
Catching
A
on
blender.
fire while cooking in a kitchen.
Yes, kitchen
Yes!
fire.
Fuck yeah!
Kitchen fire.
Is it really kitchen fire?
Kitchen fires.
That
Really?
kills 480 people a year.
Yep.
And injures 350,000.
Holy.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you people should learn how to cook in the States. For
Thank
God's
you.
sake.
Right?
Yeah. That's not
Is
going
this
to happen.
it's on gas stoves usually, or is it
I didn't.
electric?
I didn't see that,
Okay.
but obviously,
Yeah.
oil
That's
fires.
like a 1%, right? You're like 300, like what do you get?
380.
million?
Yeah.
380. That's
Yep.
less than 1%.
Yep.
It's a lot. Still,
Not for every 100 people. Just be careful in the kitchen.
Well, you know what's more important for home cooks in the U.S. to start doing?
Putting seasoning on
putting
the food.
seasoning in their food.
Yeah, white people wake up.
Actually using spices and seasonings.
White people wake up.
You know,
Yeah.
You know, I was having I love Indian food. I mean, I adore it. Anytime I go to the States,
Yeah, it's actually
I
where
stop.
we went to dinner in New
or
York.
I mean, it's anytime I go to the States, I have to stop in any place because we don't get any here in the Dominican Republic. And I like to cook, and I bought some Indian food, Indian books. And I was having dinner with our Canadian distributors in Vegas. And I was talking about how I have the Indian books, but I never got around to buying the spices or anything like that. And think about people paying attention and doing something that is very simple, but means a lot. The president of the distribution company gives me a text, right, about 2 days ago. Like, okay, what's your address? Like, I mean, what do you want? I mean, depending, I have different addresses for different things, right? But what are you looking for? And he's like, I want to send you something. So I give him my PO in the United States, because that way it'll get I send something to the PO of the States and comes back to the Dominican Republic. I'll get it a lot quicker than actually goes to the mailbox in the Dominican Republic, like a postal service, right?
Interesting.
If I get it. And so he's sending me, he says, like, we have a huge Indian culture in Canada, and he bought a whole bunch of Indian spices, which I don't get in the Dominican Republic. So I can actually, use those Indian cooking books and all the shit that I have, and I've never used because of it. And it's something that just made my freaking day. It was like, wow, that's just such a small thing.
Yeah.
So
It means something so big for somebody, right?
That's awesome.
So you're on to making some like Dominican style curry now? Is that what I'm hearing?
No, fuck that Indian style shit. I cook enough Dominican.
It was awesome. We went to an Indian restaurant in New York, and we ordered it very spicy, right?
Yeah.
A couple of the dishes, and we shared it amongst ourselves. And Adrian does not do a whole lot of spice. That Dominican turned red, and it was glorious. Yeah.
Well, you like over the top levels of spice.
I do.
Yeah.
Oh, we talked about it. I went to India like for a couple of weeks for weddings,
Mm-hmm.
and everything was spicy, from the breakfast to dinner, and I loved it. But I ended up walking like, if I ride a saddle for 10 months. I just opened, because I came in, it went out, right? So I was like, shit, this is so good, but it's so painful. Came to a point, and I came back home, and I was smelling like curry. My parents are like, what the fuck? Like, I've been eating curry for the past 2.5 weeks. I mean, what do you expect?
Yeah.
You are what you eat.
Yeah.
That's why tobacco plants are so different in different places. You are what you eat. Different microclimates, different soils, same seed, different plants. We come back to cigars and tobacco.
That's right.
That's right. That's
So,
right.
so for the 10th anniversary, I'm thinking we need like some kind of curry cigar
Yeah.
from Matilda.
Curry.
Ooh,
Green curry goat cigar.
Yes.
Mm.
I think my dad would love that.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
I'm sure he'd totally love that.
Love. My dad's he's not a traditionalist. He's always experimented with like anything he could find, but he's very traditional when it comes to what you use for tobacco. When it comes to leaves and trying different shit, I mean, that Lancero, yeah. If you Tony, you can get we don't have Lanceros, we have limited exposure, we have Lancers 42x6, and we did have at one point a Renacer Lancero. It was my dad's 40th year in the industry, and we had a 40 ring gauge by 7 and a 40 box count.
Whoa.
That was a long time ago. It was 2014. If you ever find any of those, viejo, pick them up. You're gonna love them. Just beautiful cigar.
Do you know where anyone could get some?
My humidor.
I'm booking my flight.
All right, we'll book flights to come visit you tomorrow.
Yeah, have some curry.
All right, so that was this week's Numero de los Muertos.
We're gonna get it right. We got this.
Justin's on the struggle bus.
Justin's on the
Yes.
double buttons all night.
I got. Well, yeah, they're not. Yeah.
He's got thick fingers. It's not his fault.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yes.
That's
I was
why
excited to push the button.
well,
I'm always excited to find the button.
always excited. Anytime I can find the button.
Oh.
All right. Let's get into
This week.
let's get into the lightning round. Brought to us by our friends at J.C. Newman Cigar Company, America's oldest family-owned premium cigar maker, creators of the popular Brick House, Perla Del Mar, Diamond Crown, and the American J.C. Newman Cigar Company operates out of their 112-year-old El Reloj Cigar Factory in historic Cigar City, Tampa, Florida. For more information on their cigars or their visitor experience, please visit jcnewman.com. All right, so the last time we had you on the show, we had some of our most popular lightning round questions, but we're going to dive deep into the B-sides of the lightning round questions. So let's go with, okay, if you were suddenly a billionaire, what would be the first unnecessary thing that you would spend some money on?
The first unnecessary thing I would spend some money on?
Yeah.
After you bought the house, you saved the whale.
Paid for everything. Everything was paid off. You made sure your kids and your family was taken care of for life. Everything's good to go. And you gave money to charity and saved the whales and the rainforest and all that stuff. Then the first thing that you splurge on that's completely impractical and unnecessary, but you say, you know what, I'm a billionaire, screw it, I'm gonna buy it.
Fuck it.
Yep.
That's
Buy
right.
a fucking island.
There
love it.
you go.
Yes.
Buy a
Yes.
fucking island.
Yes.
Just a huge island.
With killer whales everywhere surrounding it.
Yeah.
I already have one, remember?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gotta
that's,
work on
that's right. Yeah.
But yeah, I think I would buy an island. I've always wanted to have an island. I have no idea why, but I actually like solitude. I tell you a story when we moved our production to Tabacalera Palma. We have that mountain cabin about 45 minutes away, and I moved here for 3 months. And at that time, we had no internet. I mean, it was literally uncommunicated in the mountains, and I enjoyed it. I mean, it's not for everybody. It's not for every single time, but disappearing, no cell phone, no anything, no signal for a week or two. It's not a bad thing. I think it rejuvenates you. So buy a big fucking island and use it 2 or 3 times a year.
Yes.
Love
But
it.
then the rest just keep it there just because,
Yes.
Yep.
All right. So when you were a teenager, who was your biggest celebrity crush? A celebrity on TV or the movies that you were just absolutely in love with?
Jenna Jameson.
I mean, I don't know.
I have no idea who that is.
What is that?
I don't know who you're talking about. I've
Oh,
actually
come
never
on.
heard that name before.
What?
You guys remember when you had to dial up and you had to wait like 5 days to download 3 minutes? Come on. And somebody called your fucking phone line and it came out.
No.
Yeah, come on.
But I didn't get to finish.
I don't know. I maintain my answer that I have no idea who you're talking about.
Despite
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
It's your story. You
Oh.
tell
Yeah, that's why you guys both laughed like stupid.
Oh,
Drew Barrymore.
Drew. I was never really into Drew Barrymore. I mean, I think she's talented. I think I don't know.
But Drew Barrymore, isn't Drew Barrymore the girl from like the 50 First Dates?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Charlie's Angels.
I don't know. It's
Yeah.
never really my thing.
Yeah.
I
Everybody's
guess.
got their thing. I can't hate.
I'm not hating.
Well, yeah. I mean, besides that, like you had what was Beale,
Jessica Biel.
Jessica Biel.
Yeah. She was one of
Her
mine.
fucking body was killer, right?
Yeah.
But yeah,
Justin Timberlake.
Is it really?
Yeah, she's married to Justin Timberlake.
look at that shit.
Yeah.
But I stick to my first answer.
Good for
Honestly,
both of
I mean.
them.
Yeah.
That's a hot couple.
You like Justin? Garrett?
I mean,
You're a fan
Of
of
course he
Justin?
likes me. Come on.
look, Justin Timberlake is a very talented man. I'm sure in many areas. But
Are you dreaming about this shit tonight?
I think he is.
I'm saying that's a hot couple.
Do you need
Pretty is pretty.
Well,
do you need a
what's going on
minute?
there?
I'll be right back.
Do you
Yeah.
need, He's gonna go get some. Could he come pay a visit to your whale?
Yeah.
Just,
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
hey, love is love.
Okay.
All right. So, this okay. All right. If you could bring back any fashion trend from the past, what would it be?
Any fashion trend from the past? You know those 80 Hawaiian shirts, print shirts that people used? Like the one I'm using right now?
Yeah.
I'm trying to bring it back.
Hey, you're bringing sexy back.
Hey, I'm wearing it right now. It's got the HBTC logo on it, but it's it's festive, it's comfortable.
He brought sexy.
I think those Hawaiian shirts, like those short sleeve shirts at that time, I think I like them. I like that.
Yes, the
that
Magnum
timing.
PI shirts.
Yeah.
I would say like the dapper look, like that Mad Men look, would be pretty cool, but not for the Caribbean. I mean, that's something I want to bring back because I'd be fucking burning. Exactly.
Yeah.
I like it, but it's not something I would love. Everybody like to wear like short sleeve Hawaiian shirts or print shirts. Just keep it as that. That's what? That's 80s?
Yeah.
Or that's 60s?
Well, 70s and 80s.
70s and 80s, I think. But yeah, I'd say I agree with you when you said about, Mad Men, the perfectly tailored suits and skinny ties and all that. I mean, if I could make that look good, I would wear it. And I had the scratch to, put together a wardrobe like that. I would wear that every day.
So like Michael Herclock style.
Like Herclots.
Yeah.
I was literally gonna say like Herclocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all there.
And I would be more 20s.
20s, yeah.
20s
like gangster 20s, like Al Capone shit.
Yeah. And like Peaky Blinders.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
But it's kind of the same suits, like the 3-type suit, but you had like the pants weren't that skinny. Everything was a little bit looser, right?
Yes. Yep.
Would you use like the blade on the hat as well? Like,
I mean, sometimes you just got to cut a bitch. You know what I mean? So. Yeah.
I mean, it's
watch out, Jessica Biel. He's coming from you.
Yeah. Yeah. Get the security gates locked.
Yep.
I'm coming for you.
I don't know. He might go after Justin Timberlake first, and then if she's still available,
actually, Lawrence Fishburne, his wife.
I don't know who he's married to.
Have you seen Suits?
I've seen Suits.
Jessica,
the lead. He's married to her.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Who's that?
Have you seen Suits?
Yeah.
Jessica, the lead partner.
Mm-hmm.
Lawrence Fishburne is married to her, and I can't believe I can't think of her name right now. But she was also in Firefly.
She's beautiful. She was in Firefly,
and that's where I fell in love with her.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yowza. Lawrence Fishburne's married.
Yeah.
Lucky Matrix.
Yep. Morpheus.
I mean, what are you gonna do?
I know.
Is it Meghan Markle Sarah?
No, Meghan Markle was in Suits.
Amanda Schul delete or Catherine?
The black woman.
Oh. Okay.
Is it Markle like the princess? Mary Princess?
Yeah, she's a princess now.
So
Gina Torres.
Oh,
there we go.
Thank you.
Rafferty Gina Torres, actually.
Yeah.
All right. So now let's jump into this week's notable smokables. Brought to us by our friends at Luciano Cigars. Notable cigars, notable passion, notable purpose. So Enrique, you remember this last time you were on the show. Every week we name a cigar that we smoked recently that is notable to us. Now, this could be a cigar that we smoked for the first time in a long time that's been on the market for decades. Or it could be a cigar that's brand new to the market that we smoked for the first time ever. Obviously, you're smoking mostly your own stuff, but we know you do smoke other people's cigars from time to time. Is there something you smoked recently that really stood out to you?
I was in my office and I found a Padron anniversary 1964. I had to be lying there for at least 5 years. And I smoked that while in the office, and it was a fucking great cigar.
It is a great cigar.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah. Padron.
It's fucking Padron.
It's fucking Padron. What are you
Yep.
gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
Garrett, what about you?
So I got, our booth was right next to LFD, and Carney is just Carney. He's awesome. And gave me some Solis, and let those rest. I didn't want to smoke it on the show floor because it's Vegas. And I had one last night, and it curled my toes.
That's a good cigar.
It's a great cigar.
I enjoy that one.
Yeah.
I gotta try it. I haven't tried it.
Oh man,
I have to go raid Tony.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Just say, hey Tony, just come on.
Solis.
T Money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Solis is so good.
For me, the Rodriguez Primera class. I had one of those.
Oh
last
yeah.
week. I go back to that. A box of those that I got a while back, and kind of in the rotation. And I like the Rodriguez stuff. So
Nice.
from Key West.
So mine is, and I hate to cheat this way, but I'm going to, just because it really stood out to me. So
Man.
when I was at the PCA trade show, I was very fortunate. At the Casa 1910 booth, we ran into Indiana Ortez. It was great to see her because I hadn't seen her in a while, and we gave each other a big hug, and she handed me a couple cigars, and she said, "Here, I want you to smoke these and tell me what you think of them." And they're pre-release cigars because she's working on hard at work getting her own brand going. And so this was a Casa Ortez pre-release. It was a 5x46 box press cigar.
Ooh,
Nice dark wrapper on it. And last week, the people at Smoke Inn have this Smoke Inn social where they, people just get online. It was started during COVID so people could hang out together and smoke cigars and talk. But it's continued going even now that the world's open again. And every once in a while they have a brand owner come on to talk about their brand. And I just happened to see that day that ironically we just mentioned his name, that Michael Herklotz from Ferry Otego was going to be on to talk about Ferry Otego. And I didn't have any of the Ferry Otego cigars on hand to smoke while I was just honestly, and I just sat there for the most part, just listening to Michael talk. But I saw this pre-release and I thought, oh, I'm going to smoke this cigar because I can, just while I'm listening to other people talk, I can really focus on the cigar and what I'm tasting and smelling and all that. It was a really nice little blend. Mm-hmm. So if that's something that's going to be coming out from Casa Ortez, just watch out, because I think she's really got something dialed in with that particular little blend.
I'm jelly.
Yeah. Sorry.
I'm jelly.
Yeah. It was on the
keep
QT.
in mind, Garrett. Keep in mind, he said she gave him a couple.
Yes, they were all different. They were all different, so they're different.
See how he fixed it? He doesn't want to give you one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, don't be mad, Garrett. I didn't get one either.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love how Matt's eyes. Matt, your eyes are going like.
You had a moment.
We had a moment. We know each other.
Mm.
We're friends, and she was just like, "Hey, just."
I know. I'm just trying to look.
No, I know. I don't. But hey, bust my balls. I deserve it. Honestly, it's okay.
And I want to know. So, Skip, that Fuente Rare Pink that you smoked, was that the latest release? Because I think I smoked one or two when it originally came out, and I've been sitting on the rest since. And I've got one in every size in the first offering, and I'm sitting on them.
I think, and I'm sorry if I'm wrong about this. As far as I'm aware, the Rare Pink is going to be a yearly release, where every year when they release it, and just like before, all those proceeds are going to go to breast cancer
research.
Yep. But as far as I'm aware, the blend is staying the same.
That's what I thought.
I believe
a year ago.
So yeah, and I think that's also a good.
And isn't it
cigar.
Basically the Hemingway with just a different wrapper?
I don't even want to speak to that.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if that's the case or not.
I know it follows the Hemingway size pattern, but I don't know about the blend.
I honestly can't say for sure.
Hearsay.
Objection.
Yep. Withdrawn.
All right. So that was this week's Notable Smokables, brought to you by Luciano Cigars, improving lives through fine cigars. Visit lucianocigars.com to learn more. So, coming attractions.
Mm.
This is a big one.
Mm.
Coming attractions brought to us by AJ Fernandez. Born and raised in Cuba, AJ Fernandez now produces unparalleled premium cigars in Esteli, Nicaragua. The AJ Fernandez portfolio of cigars provides blend strength and flavor profiles to match the preferences of any premium cigar consumer. Whether it's New World, Dias de Gloria, San Latano, Enclave, or Bellas Artes, you are sure to be satisfied with a premium cigar from AJ Fernandez. All right, guys, next week on the 31st,
What do we got? What do we got?
we have the 4th annual installment of the Cigar Industry Hive Mind. We have Skip Martin from Roma Craft.
Mm.
We have Abe DeBabna from Smoke Inn.
Oh, yeah.
We have Charlie Minato from Half Wheel.
Ooh.
And we have John McTavish from Developing Palates. The
surgeon.
same people we've had on every single Industry Hive Mind. We're getting the band back together. It's one of our it's one of the shows.
It's one of my favorites.
Pack a lunch.
Yep.
And have plenty of beverages on hand and cigars ready to be fired up, because these shows are always very long.
Yep.
And very detailed.
Heated
Heated at times. But we get into some of the deep dive inside baseball stuff about the premium cigar industry.
And hopefully John, can get some words in here.
And hopefully John McTavish can actually get a word in. Yes. Because he's so nice. He's the Canadian. He's super nice. He doesn't want to interrupt.
Sorry.
Excuse me.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So, Enrique, first of all, thank you so much, my brother, for being on episode 208 of How About That Cigar Live.
It's my pleasure and honor to be with you guys. I love sharing and talking cigars and everything in life with you guys. You make it
thank
easy.
You so much. Oh, we appreciate that. You make it easy, my friend.
Yeah.
So if you would please tell our viewers and listeners where is the best place for them to find out everything about Matilde Cigars?
www.matildacigars.com. You can find anything on our website, and our social feeds are Matilda Cigars, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and I think that's it. That's what we have.
Fantastic.
But yeah, matildacigars.com. And as I said, any questions, you want to go direct, customer service at matildacigars.com.
Awesome. Thank you, my brother. Really appreciate it.
Yes. Thank you so much. All right. Hang
Thank
out
you,
in the
guys.
room and we'll be right with you.
All right. Viewers and
good.
listeners, guys, thank you so much for being the absolute best part of How About That Cigar Live. We are so grateful to you guys for watching and listening. If you have any questions for us, please email us on the website, howaboutthatcigar.com. Be sure on all our social medias, so whether that's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and especially on YouTube and Facebook, if you're watching us on YouTube, just like you see on the screen right now, click on that like and subscribe button, because that helps us out a ton. And make sure to follow us on Facebook and so you don't miss any time that we go live.
Mm-hmm.
I already mentioned the email thing.
Yep.
You'll find us on all your favorite social media platforms at HBT Cigar. And of course, guys, until we see you next time, burn cigars,
not bridges.
See you guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Any comments, opinions, viewpoints, or statements presented or uttered by guests on the HBTC podcast, HBTC live video streams, and all other media from HBT Media LLC are solely those of the individual and do not necessarily represent the opinions or viewpoints of How About That Cigar or its parent company, HBT Media LLC, any of our advertising partners, or the premium cigar industry. The primary purpose of How About That Cigar is to entertain and to encourage activity and growth within the community of people who enjoy or want to learn about the enjoyment of premium cigars.